The year is 2025. Former President Trump's proposed 2026 budget is on the table. It promises big changes and sparks intense debate. This budget is not a quiet adjustment, it is a bold statement. It aims to reshape how Washington works, touching nearly every part of American life. From taxes to healthcare, education to defense, the scale of these proposed changes is significant. Understanding them requires a close look. The discussions ahead will be crucial for our future. The air in Washington is thick with anticipation and apprehension. This budget proposal acts as a catalyst, forcing us to confront fundamental questions. What is the proper size and scope of government? How should we balance individual liberty with collective responsibility? These are not easy questions, but this budget demands we try to find answers. As we stand on this new fiscal horizon, uncertainty is natural. The path forward is not yet clear. The budget is a proposal, not a final law. Congress will have its say, and the American people will voice their opinions. The journey from proposal to reality is often long, filled with negotiation and compromise. Yet the initial vision presented is powerful. It sets the terms for the debates to come. It challenges existing norms and expectations. The future of America's finances is at a crossroads. At the heart of Trump's 2026 budget are four main pillars. First, deep tax reform aims for a simpler system with lower rates. Second, massive federal spending cuts target non-defense areas. Third, a significant boost to defense capabilities is planned. Fourth, a rollback of regulations aims to free up businesses. These pillars flow from a central ideology influenced by Project 2025. This conservative blueprint seeks a smaller federal government and champions America First economics. The budget translates these broad goals into concrete policy. It details where money will go and where it will be taken away. The call for a smaller government is not new, but this budget takes it to a new level. The proposed spending cuts are dramatic, affecting many government agencies. The aim is to shrink what supporters call the administrative state. This means fewer federal employees and less federal intervention in the economy. Some power might go to states, some to the private sector. The emphasis on a stronger military is equally pronounced. The budget seeks to project American power and ensure military dominance. This aligns with the America First approach, prioritizing national interests and security. The regulatory rollbacks are designed to boost American businesses. The belief is that fewer rules lead to more growth. This budget is a clear statement of these core ideas. It is a bold attempt to enact them. The impact of these changes will be far-reaching. The debate over this budget will shape America's future. The proposed tax reform is a cornerstone of the budget. It aims for radical simplification with a new two-rate system, 15% and 30%. A key goal is to make the 2017 individual tax cuts permanent. The plan includes a temporary boost to the standard deduction. These changes promise immediate relief for some. Further changes target specific income sources and groups. The budget suggests eliminating taxes on tips, overtime pay, and Social Security benefits. Seniors age 65 and older with limited income might get a new $4,000 deduction. The state and local tax, SALT deduction cap could rise. The child tax credit might expand to $2,500 per child until 2028. MAGA savings accounts are also proposed for education, business, or home buying. High-income earners and large corporations are expected to see significant gains. Lower tax rates and permanent cuts favor them. However, the picture for middle-class households is more complex. Some may pay more if other deductions are reduced or eliminated. The fiscal impact of these reforms is a major concern. Critics warn of a ballooning national debt. Estimates suggest an increase of $5 trillion to $11 trillion over the next decade. The debate will be fierce. A central theme of the 2026 budget is shrinking the federal government. This is most evident in proposed non-defense spending cuts. These cuts are substantial, exceeding 20% overall. Many federal agencies and programs face drastic reductions. The goal is to reduce the size and scope of the administrative state. Supporters believe this will curb waste and inefficiency. They argue it will empower individuals and businesses. Public health agencies like the CDC and NIH could see funding slashed. Reductions could be as high as 40% to 45%. The National Science Foundation faces a potential 55% cut. Education programs are also targeted. Pell Grants and student loan forgiveness initiatives would likely be rolled back or ended. Housing assistance programs are slated for deep cuts. Federal housing aid, including Section 8, could be reduced by about 43%. Environmental justice efforts also face cuts. Funding for the National Park Service and climate science research is threatened. Foreign aid and contributions to UN peacekeepers are also on the chopping block. The impact of these cuts would be far-reaching. The debate over these cuts will be intense. Section 5. Education Overhaul, the push to dissolve a department. One of the most dramatic proposals in the budget is the elimination of the U.S. Department of Education. This idea has been discussed in conservative circles for years. Now, it is part of a formal budget plan. The proposal would return education policy entirely to state and local governments. Supporters argue this aligns with constitutional principles. They believe education is best managed at the local level. They say it would reduce federal bureaucracy and give communities more control over their schools. The potential impact of such a move is profound. It could lead to significant disparities in education quality. Wealthier states might be able to maintain or improve their schools. Poorer states could struggle significantly. Federal funding for low-income schools, often distributed through Title I, could vanish. Support for special education programs, also federally mandated and funded, would be at risk. This raises serious questions about educational equity. Would all students have an equal opportunity to succeed? Ultimately, dismantling a federal department is a massive undertaking. The debate will center on the federal government's role in education. Section 6. Fortifying the nation defense spending and the Golden Dome. While non-defense spending faces deep cuts, defense is a different story. The 2026 budget proposes a significant boost to military spending. The increase is around 13%, pushing the total defense budget to $1 trillion. This reflects a strong emphasis on national security. It aligns with the America First philosophy. The goal is to ensure American military superiority. A key component of this defense vision is the Golden Dome initiative. This is a proposed missile defense system inspired by Israel's successful Iron Dome. The American version would be more ambitious, envisioning a space-based system. This system would be designed to intercept a wide range of threats. The estimated costs for Golden Dome are substantial. Beyond the Golden Dome, other security investments are planned. The budget calls for a $175 billion investment in border security. A new America First Opportunity Fund is also proposed. This $2.9 billion fund would support key partners and advance national security interests abroad. Care for veterans also receives attention in this budget. Overall, the defense and security proposals are expansive. Section 7. Greener pastures or barren lands. Environmental and energy shifts. The proposed 2026 budget signals a sharp turn in environmental and energy policy. It aims to significantly scale back existing environmental programs. A major target is the clean energy subsidies introduced in President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. This includes popular tax credits for electric vehicles. The budget proposes defunding these initiatives. The underlying philosophy is that government should not pick winners and losers in the energy sector. In place of green subsidies, the budget promotes fossil fuels. It proposes opening more federal land for oil and gas drilling. This is part of a strategy to achieve energy independence. Supporters of this approach argue it will cut government waste and unleash American energy production. Critics warn that these rollbacks will stall progress on climate change. They argue it will undermine America's commitments to global climate goals. The elimination of green jobs is another major concern. Environmental advocates also worry about increased pollution. The debate over these environmental and energy policies will be intense. The choices made in this budget will have long-lasting consequences. Section 8. Conclusion, an ideological blueprint and its societal echoes. Former President Trump's 2026 budget proposal is more than a financial plan. It is an ideological roadmap. It seeks to fundamentally reshape the federal government. It aims to redefine America's priorities at home and abroad. Supporters view it as a necessary corrective. They believe it will rein in an overreaching bureaucracy. They see it as a way to restore American strength and prosperity. For them, it is a bold vision for a more efficient, less intrusive government. Critics, however, offer a starkly different assessment. They argue the budget disproportionately favors the wealthy and large corporations. They warn it will weaken essential public services. They fear it will shred the social safety net. The deep cuts to health, education, and environmental programs raise alarms. The potential increase in national debt is another major concern. For opponents, this budget represents a retreat from collective responsibility. They see it as a threat to social progress and environmental stewardship. The ultimate fate of this budget is uncertain. The American people will need to weigh the competing visions. The debates in the coming months will shape the direction of the country for years to come.